Hello, welcome in the new video with the new point. In the earlier video, we have discussed about the steps to the death. In this video, we are going to see the youth in the Nazi Germany, the status of youth in the Nazi Germany, and how the youth was built in the Nazi Germany, that we are going to see in this part. Hitler was fanatically interested in the youth of country. Why he was fanatically interested? Fanatically, extremely. He was having extreme interest in the youth of the country because he want to build the country in his own way. That is why he was fanatically interested in the youths of the country. He want to make the strong Nazi society. If we want to make a Nazi strong society, it was needing to capture the mind of the youth of the country. That is why he was fanatically interested in the youth. Hitler felt what he felt: a strong Nazi society could be established when it can be established by teaching Nazi ideology to the children. He thought it is needing to give teaching to the children of the Nazi ideology, then the strong Nazi society can be built. That is why he was fanatically interested in the youth of the Germany. What happened in the schools under Nazi? In the schools, what changes were made in the Nazi Germany? Schools were cleansed and purified. It is said the schools were cleansed and purified. Cleansing and purifying. You know the meaning of cleansing. The schools were made. What do I think? What actions were taken there to say the cleansed and purified? Earlier, the classification of made of the people, the desirable and undesirable. So politically undesirable people were dismissed. Only the Aryans were kept in the schools. The cleansing and purifying means that teachers who were Jews are seen as politically undesirable, unreliable, were dismissed. Children were first segregated. The children also divided in the two groups, the desirable and undesirable, segregated, separated. In schools, the German teachers were given and the Jews were removed from the schools. The children were divided into two groups. In the two groups, that is the desirable and undesirable. Undesirable children means those Jews, the physically handicapped gypsies were thrown out of schools, and finally in the 1940 they were taken to the gas chambers. First these students separated. After separating, the undesirable children were thrown away from the schools, and in a last these children were sent to the gas chambers. So this was happened in the Nazi schools. Ideological training. The training how given it. First one, the textbooks were rewritten. The changes were brought in the syllabus. Good German children were subjected to the process of Nazi schooling. A prolonged period of ideological training. The training was not a short period, it was a prolonged, lengthy time needing to to give the ideological training. School textbooks were rewritten. Racial science was introduced to justify Nazi ideas as a race. The school's textbooks were rewritten and the racial science was introduced to justify the racism or the make Nazi as a strong there. Racial science was introduced to justify Nazi ideas of race. Stereotypes about Jews were popularized even through math classes. The stereotypes about the Jews were popularized through the maths class. You can see this one. This maths class you are looking through this maths class, the stereotypes about the Jews tried to spread there, tried to inculcate there. Children were taught to be loyal and submissive, hate to Jews and worship to the Hitler. These values were taught to the children to be loyal, to be submissive, and hate to the Jews and worship to the Hitler. Even the functions of the sports was nurtured a spirit of violence and aggression among children. Through the sports, it was tried to give importance to the aggression and the violence. Hitler believed that boxing could make children iron-hearted, strong, and masculine. That is why Hitler focused on the boxing to make children as the violent and aggressive. The different institutions were made here at the different age level. At the age of 10 years old, the child had to enter in the Jungok. At the age of 14, the child had to join to the Hitler's Youth, and at the age of the 18, they joined to the labor service. It was compulsory to the all children to join these organizations. Youth organizations were made responsible for educating German youth in the spirit of National Socialism. 10-year-olds had to enter Jungok. 14 years, all boys had to join the Nazi youth organization that is called Hitler Youth, where they learnt to worship war, glorify aggression and violence, condemn democracy and hate Jews, communists, gypsies and all those categorized as the undesirable. When child was entering in the Hitler Youth, that time it was taught to worship to the war. It was focused for the aggression and violence, condemn, hate to the democracy, hate to the Jews, communists, gypsies and all those categorized as the undesirable. After a period of rigorous ideological and physical training, they joined to the labor service usually at the age of the 18. After the all training, the children were entering to the labor service. Then they had to serve in the armed forces and enter one of the Nazi organization. The Youth League of the Nazi was founded in 1922. 4 years later was renamed Hitler Youth. To unify the youth movement under Nazi control, all other youth organizations were systematically dissolved and finally banned. All organizations were banned. Only the Hitler Youth was working to make the Nazi youth in the Germany. In this way, the Nazis tried to make the youth in the Nazi ideology's way. Here are some pictures you are looking of the Nazis schools, Nazi Germany's, how the schools were cleansed here. In this picture it is shown. This is in this figure you are looking the desirable children which were rallied to the Hitler. Here is the small child who is carrying the Nazi flag and the Jewish children arriving at the death factory to be gassed. So in this way we have studied youth in the Nazi Germany. In the next video we will see the Nazi cult of motherhood.